Hey, what's up? I'm Blake. I'm back with another video episode of the podcast. I know I haven't traditionally done videos going along with the audio, and if this is your first time watching any Tone Mob podcast interview things, you might be surprised to know there are over 300 episodes available on the audio platform. So I've talked to everybody from Kyle Gass from Tenacious D to Tepe Teranishi from Thrice, and a ton of different pedal builders, Josh Scott, Brian Wampler, all kinds of people you may have heard of before in a long-form interview style. So if you're new to the show, welcome. If you are old to the show, you know that I don't usually do videos, but I'm starting to roll more and more of them out. Anyway, what better video to make than one with Shavo Odadjian from System of a Down, North Kingsley. He's got a solo thing coming up. I won't spoil it, but let's get into it. Let's go. Shavo, welcome to the Tone Mob podcast here at Sweetwater.
Hell yeah, bro. Thanks for having me.
I had no idea that this was going to happen, so I'm pretty excited. I've been a fan for a long time, as I told you earlier, as probably half the campus has said.
Thank you very much, man.
This is super cool. But we actually have somewhat of a connection that I'm not sure if you're aware of, but we have a mutual friend in Morgoth Beats. So
That's my boy.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, like him and I have been bonding like crazy recently.
He's such a cool dude.
We're making great music together, man.
I wanted to ask you about
that. He's become that writing partner that I've been looking for. He's great. He understands me. I understand him, so it's perfect.
What do you guys? Can you talk about what you guys have been doing?
I could talk about it. But first, he's actually mixing our North Kingsley record, which is my side project that I've been working on for the last 3 years.
Yes.
And I don't know. I've started working with him on a little side thing where we're writing music together, and I'll talk about that later.
Mm-hmm.
But when we did that, I noticed how we bonded.
Yeah.
And he noticed. So we've been kind of just like water, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So when we finished the North Kingsley record, 14 tracks, I was like, maybe he should mix it because we understand each other.
Totally.
So well. And he's got one song down already. It's been less than a few days. And so he's going to mix all 14. And then we're going to move on to the next thing with each other.
That's so cool.
We've been writing this crazy heavy music together. It's going to become my solo record. I still don't know how we're going to spin it with vocalists yet. But the music's coming out harder than ever. The thing is the only time I've really not gone against the grain of what I'm natural at is System of a Down. And I've kind of, all the songs I've brought in have been exactly what just comes out.
Yeah.
Every time I've done a solo thing, or not a solo thing, but like a side project thing, I've always tried to go against the grain, not do what I did in System. So I've been kind of avoiding playing heavy. It's been heavy, but I'm throwing hip hop in there. I'm throwing electronic in there and rapping and screaming. And so I said, why go against the grain? Actually, he helped me do that. Because when I got with him, because I know he does hip hop as well, I thought we were just going to groove to some music, but it just became this like heavy, monstrous sound.
Well, he does Winds of Plague too. That's his background.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I just knew his production credits when I met him. You know?
Okay.
We kind of met and worked and got to know each other as we're working. It was really cool, man. It's like, when you surprisingly meet someone and spontaneous shit happens.
Yeah.
That's what's going on. So it's really good.
Dude.
So we're working on it. We're about 5 tracks in on that, but I don't want to put so much emphasis on that because I want North Kingsley to be the thing.
Of course.
Because that's the one we've been working on for 3.5 years with my boy Sorrow and Ray, our vocalist.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And we've gone through such an evolution with that group. We started off as like the songs that we dropped, in 2020 during the pandemic was like the initial vibe that we just kind of did. It wasn't like planned. It's just that's what came out of us. And but we've been evolving, and I've been dropping as the evolution goes. But when the songs became what they are now, I said, I think an album should be the next step and not more EPs. The reason why I was doing EPs is I think we're in a really weird ADD generation time right now where,
yes,
you drop an album, people are attracted to 2 songs, and then the other 10 just kind of go away. I didn't want to do that to any of our songs. So I thought we should just drop EP. But like I said, when there was like one song we did that kind of became this new sound that we developed, and where I'm using a distortion on my bass sounding like a baritone guitar, heavy grooves with
Yeah.
trap beats that sound enormous, not thin trap, thick. And he's screaming and not rapping as much. So it's like coming off with this new abstract style.
Mm-hmm.
I'm using distortion on his voice and octave, like lowering the octave sometimes, raising it, just that like you wouldn't do
Mm-hmm.
conventionally, but that,
Mm-hmm.
'cause I'm an artist, we're artists, we can do whatever we want.
Yeah.
And it's like throwing paint on a canvas and seeing what happens. That's what we did. And it came out so cool. I was like, dude, we could do an album.
Yeah.
So then we're 14 songs in. I said, let's stop, make these the best they could. So we worked on each track and now they're all ready. We actually have a name for it. We're calling it Nobody Move.
Sweet.
With the climate today.
Yeah.
And it's just really cool. And he speaks, our vocalist is badass. I always compliment him. He always says stop. But I'm intrigued by him. He's really cool. He's aware of everything. And his views I agree with half the time. But I still like the way he drops them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's dope.
Well, that's important though. You just said though, it's kind of a joke, but it's like that's something that's lost right now, right? Is being able to like, I don't fully agree with you, but I understand what you're saying.
That's a problem, man. That's a big problem in the world right now because it's like, it's not black or white, and I'm not talking about skin color. I'm talking about ideas and opinions. It's not just this or that. And if I don't agree with you, doesn't mean I hate you now. Right. That's bullshit. And I think the world is doing that right now. It's like if you don't agree with one thing, all of a sudden I'm not cool with you, and I can scream at you and call you names and try to point you out online and throw you under the bus for having an opinion that might be just a spontaneous opinion, and maybe he hasn't thought about it, or maybe he has. But what happened to diversity? Like, I don't know, man. It bothers me the way people view each other. It's like people are, not becoming friends, like losing friendships over one view that doesn't even affect their lives. It's crazy.
I think it doesn't give any people any room to expand, because I think back, 2 years ago, like there's things that I used to think, and I'm like, I don't think like that anymore.
You change, bro. It's called evolution. It's called evolving. It's called learning. It's called, you have to have maybe a bad opinion to have a good one. You need to, it's okay to challenge people. It's okay to think towards the left. With System of a Down, we used to say free thinkers are dangerous, right? Now free thinkers are canceled. That's what's happening. You have a thought and you think a little too much about something. Maybe you're like, okay, maybe someone is scared to, take the vaccine. Maybe they've heard all these things about the heart problems and the reproductive. Who knows if it's real? But say they're questioning it. You're going to call that person a stench Republican who sucks, who's a racist, just because they're not accepting the vaccine, because others who did not accept it have those views. Like, it's so crazy. You get generalized. Say you don't like Biden, they call you a trumpet. No, what if you don't like both? What if you're not on any party? You just don't like what Biden's doing. You're going to be called a Trump lover? Like, that's not cool.
It's really weird.
Not
it's
cool.
A bizarre way to think.
Yeah.
And it's like a complete false equivalency, right?
Very.
It doesn't, like, it's like, well, I don't like Chevrolets, so you must like Fords.
You must, I don't like Ford either, bitch. Back off. I like this other thing that I have another view, maybe someone that doesn't exist yet, and which is where I'm at personally.
Yeah.
Either both sides are pretty much at the moment. Look what's going on with Roe versus Wade. Look, it's just crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah, dude. So anyways, like both sides have lost their minds. They're both pushing their agenda on everyone. And if you don't agree with either one, you're on the other side. No, you're not. There's also this middle ground that, maybe some people take a little from here, take a little from there, and form your own opinion, man.
I think it's important to try to, I try to do this and I fail sometimes, is to look at the specific thing that you're talking about and just talk about that.
Yeah.
It doesn't, because we're talking about this one thing, doesn't mean I'm talking about this other thing.
Yeah, it doesn't mean just because you have an opinion on this, that your opinion is like that because of the group that has that majority opinion.
No, it's like, no, I don't agree with them on that. I just wonder if maybe this one thing.
Like some of the financial things that the Republicans do is, if you think about it, more logical, but but then there's the healthcare stuff that I think is logical on the others. It's like so many different things, bro. It's like there's a freedom, there's a not, like I don't believe with making rules for everybody about everything. You can't be, I don't know, bro. It is what it is. It is what it is. But I came here to talk music. Yeah, that's right.
We didn't do that on purpose.
That's just what the world where we're at right now.
We're in a really, really weird spot. We got to a spot where I thought, okay, we're going to get smoothed out a little bit now.
It got worse.
And then it's like, oh, man, come on. But, what is good, though, is music.
Yes.
And it lets us express all these things in a way that might even be like more acceptable than conversation sometimes, which is sad, because conversation is what I do.
That's the best thing, bro. It's to
mhm.
have this conversation we're having. And then don't hate me because I'm in the middle and I'm not even in the middle. I don't even know where I'm at. You know what I mean? With
Like
that
I said,
whole
it's like an
shit.
issue by issue thing.
Issue by issue thing. And you know, you could sway my opinion, have a conversation with me. I might listen to what you say and know like, oh, you're right. You know, like, and
I never thought about it.
Yeah,
in
I never
that
thought
light.
about it that way.
Yeah.
So that's where conversations are good and we're good. And but people are getting cancer left and right for having an opinion. You know,
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Or maybe not even having that opinion. They just said something. They're like, oh wait.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that all the way through.
Exactly.
You know? Or I said it wrong.
Something I said today could be totally paraphrased wrong, and like someone could come at me for it.
Like soundbite.
And exactly that can happen. I hope it doesn't, but
I don't think so.
This is a full interview, my friends.
My people are pretty. They're pretty cool. They like the longer form. They like the conversations the whole point. That's why like we start with music, and sometimes like we dive into nothing but fuzz pedals the whole time. And sometimes it's like, whoa, what about extraterrestrials? Like, who knows? You never know where it's going to go.
Too.
Yeah. But so when is, or do you have a date? Since we're just going to sidetrack. All right, we talked about that stuff already, folks. There.
Yeah.
With the new record, when is it coming out?
We don't know yet. Like I said, we're mixing it. So I actually want to see where I can get it. I've done all the EPs myself. Like I dropped it on my own independently. Let me see. This might be something that we kind of shop first and see what kind of bites we get, interest we get from other people to us, maybe help fund it, because there's a lot I want to do. I want to do 14 videos. I love visuals, as you know.
Yes.
I love making videos, but it costs a lot of money to do all that. And
especially when you're doing them the way that you have done them in the past.
Truth. Yeah. I'm not, and then, there's a lot I want to do. And we'll see how it goes. But so there's no release date yet, but hopefully this year.
Oh yeah.
I do want to drop it in 2022.
Absolutely.
22 is my number. So this.
It's your number. Is your lucky number?
22 red, bro.
Oh, there you go.
The brand.
Yeah. That's true. Oh, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
But that's the other thing. You're into all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when did some musicians, and this is not like a slight towards anyone, but some musicians they do the music and they're like, that's it. That's all I'm going to do. But you can't seem to sit still.
No. It's if I have things I like to accomplish more things. I love having goals. I love setting goals and then accomplishing them and then moving on to another one. Doesn't mean I switch up. It means I have more facets to me. You know what I mean?
Totally.
And I've always been a connoisseur of cannabis and cool like shirts and cool vibes. And I've been a skater since I was like 5 years old. And art, painting, drawings, video, directing, all that stuff. So I kind of wanted to make a lifestyle brand.
Yeah.
And I have this really good friend I've known since we were like 7 years old. So him and I started talking about doing it together, partnering up. And when I met the grower, his name is Surreal Yields, Suro, Sean, aka Sean. See, when cannabis got legalized in Cali, I was approached by a lot of people saying, "Hey, man, you should have a brand. You should have a strain. You should have something." And I just didn't want to be involved like that. If I don't know who's growing it, if I don't know what quality it is, I'm not going to put my name on anything like that. I said, I'll smoke it. You guys grow it. You guys do what you got to do. I don't want to be in that business. When I met Sean and he came in and I went and saw his operation, I was like, dude, this is something. If this is going to be our stuff, then I'm going to back this. I can do this. I know exactly what's going on and exactly what I want to intake. It's not even about getting high for me. Weed to me is about the flavors, the scents, the feeling a little bit. I don't like smoking too much where I'm just like couch locked and I'm looking at the space. I think certain terpene profiles bring out really cool inspirations musically, artistically. There's some of it, reduce anxiety. I think it induces sleep, which I like at night.
Yeah.
I take a little edible at night and I'm out for 6 hours. It feels great. I wake up, I'm not groggy. So I thought it was time. This is 2017. I thought it was time I get in.
Yeah.
And we can do it with the lifestyle brand. Since the lifestyle brand was already starting up, I said, we can just make this a cannabis/lifestyle brand. Because the lifestyles that I included within the brand all go hand in hand with cannabis.
Right.
Which is art, skateboarding, music. And so 22 Red was born. The rest is history. We started in 3 stores. Now we're in 3 states.
Nice.
We're in Arizona, California, and Nevada. And we're moving east.
Cool.
But I just want to build these 3 states to be really strong and then move to the next. We do have a bunch of states asking us to come in, but I said, let's halt for a second, build, and then go.
I get that.
I don't like spreading too thin.
Yeah.
It doesn't work well.
I totally get that. Because it's like, a lot of people don't understand this, because outside looking in, you're like, yo, grow as fast as possible, and it's like, that can crush you.
It can. So there's many ways of doing it. There's brands and people and bands and art, whoever, businesses that do that.
Yeah.
And they do it well. They'll get $100 million loan and they'll build. They'll be like, poof, all of a sudden they're the biggest thing in the world. But then you got to pay that off, right?
Exactly.
So there's always this grind.
Yep.
I like this kind of growth where it's like a 45-degree angle growth, where it gradually grows. And I think it builds a better foundation that way. It's hard to fall when you're growing like this.
Yes.
That's how I did System. When we came out with System, when we were getting the bidding wars was going on between 3-4 labels, we didn't ask for more money from anyone. We wanted a different plan. We wanted a different model. We said, listen, throw us on the road. We don't want a single or a video for the first year until we hit a certain amount of records, until we sell gold. Like, don't release anything, because we didn't want to be known for a song or a video, because a lot of bands got known for that song and then everything else was just like, oh, it doesn't sound like that song, so we don't like the band. We wanted our initial hardcore fans to be a fan of the group, and so we said, put all that money that you have on radio and video, put that in tour support and throw us out. And that's what they did. It's what Rick agreed to, Rick Rubin. So when he agreed to that, we agreed with him. We said, you're the guy.
Right.
And the rest is history. It worked out. We toured our asses off. And then we dropped a single after there was already a buzz on us. Yeah. And then people were like, oh, that's cool, And it wasn't like, when's the next single? They wanted the next album.
Yes.
They want, which is...
I remember.
So that's really cool. And I'm using that same mentality for 22 Red, and I'm going to use it for North Kingsley. It's been 3.5 years. We've dropped 6 tracks, but we're not touring with North Kingsley just yet. We're kind of doing the opposite of like making more music, and seeing what happens, Yeah. Because we're living in a different generation.
It is. It's a different environment because touring's important, and live music, I didn't realize, I knew I loved it. I didn't realize how much I loved it till I couldn't get it anymore. Yeah. So it's like, whoa,
Things our generation's been through, or the today's generation has gone through is crazy. Like,
it's hard to wrap your mind around. I mean, it's going to be, looking back in the history books, it's going to be like, they did what?
We're a part of crazy history. Bro.
Yeah. Didn't think I was, did not think that was going to be the case when I was a kid. It was basically since 9/11. It's just been like, what?
Yeah, one after another, right?
It's so crazy.
Yeah.
But I like what you're talking about with System. I don't think a lot of people know that, because I think, for myself included, the first time I was exposed, it was, through the radio. Of course. Which is like, that's one of the last bands I can think of that's the case for. That where I was actually discovered a band through the radio. Most of my other discoveries were, picking through bins, and now online. Exactly.
We were on that cusp.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't have to, there was no social media and all that stuff when we were dropping records. So we had to do that like streetwise, like total guerrilla style.
Do you think of like for North Kingsley, are you kind of like taking the street approach to the internet? Is that the idea?
Exactly what we're doing. Yeah. We're gonna, I'm already hearing things that could be cool snippets that you could release, on like a TikTok thing.
Yeah.
But cool. I'm not doing dances to that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about cool little moments that could become creative for creators to do stuff too.
Yeah.
Create their own videos. I'm a video maker, so TikTok is appealing to me. Not the TikTok that the little kids are doing with their dancing or their lip syncing.
Right.
It's about when the creators make actual cool content. I'm into that.
Yeah.
So why not release something and have other people, the fans, create content for you?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Totally.
And then like vote for the best. I'm just giving ideas now, but these are the things that I've been thinking about marketing wise to do, because I've done all the marketing for System back in the day.
Yeah.
I'm doing it all for 22 Red. And I think that's one of the things I do good. So, so I'm following that.
Yeah. So I've had a wild idea for a while, and I've talked to people at different labels, because the podcast is part of a network that is involved with the record label. So, and well, it's a long story, but I won't bore people with the details. But I've know some people that know some people, and I've pitched this idea, and then the people higher up aren't too interested. But I feel like if somebody that has, especially somebody that has a fan base already specifically for their music and for their art, I'm like, this could really, like, the example I've given is like, if Taylor Swift does it, the industry changes tomorrow, in my mind.
What is it?
So, and it's because I'm a podcaster.
Okay.
And so I think about podcasting, I think about the podcast platforms and how they work. And they functionally, and in the case of Spotify, it's even on the same platform.
Yeah.
It's streamed the same way. You could technically release a record in a few different formats, as a podcast.
Wow, I didn't even think about that. That's pretty.
Yeah,
that's pretty clever.
And I was like, I did it myself.
That's very clever.
And it worked really well. But I'm so small as an artist. It was like it worked I would have to have gotten, I don't remember. I calculated the number at one point, like 30,000 plus streams to get what I got out of it. For I can't remember what I ended up doing, but a lot better that way anyway. And I was just like, that gives artists so much control.
Yes.
And if you could partner with something maybe outside of the traditional music
that's
space.
Important. Yeah. That's where you got to be. I'm already thinking about that for the new stuff that I'm doing with Morgoth. I have plans of how I'm going to get that marketed and funded. Yeah. There's ways of doing it that's really clever, and it's not selling out. You know what I mean? Like, which is like giving your shit away mostly, and just for someone to do it for you. There's a lot of good ways right now.
Yeah. It just seems like now's the time, but we have option. Like, there's thousands of people that are going to listen to this.
Yeah. That's great.
And, I didn't have any support.
No, that's having a voice.
That. Yeah.
That's having a voice and doing it yourself, which is, we should be happy. And you should feel good about that.
And so I'm just thinking, like, somebody like you, you have all this music, you figure out how to partner with the right people, do the right thing, release it even outside of something like traditional streaming. Like, who knows, man?
I'm up for anything for North Kingsley. That's why when you said, when is it coming out? I said, I don't know, because I'm thinking of different ways of doing it. Like, I'm trying to see which might be the best way for the style, but I want to get it all mixed and ready. I'm putting a package together.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to see how I can get that package out to the public. But and the reason is not for financial, it's because I want more ears on it. I need more ears on it. Because remember, it's not the same as System. So it's like a lot of System fans are not into it because it's got different styles of music involved.
Yeah.
It's more abstract. And so I just want more ears and eyes on it, because I think if I get enough on it, people are going to really adapt to it. They're going to really get into it. It just has to be the right audience.
Yeah.
So there's many ways. Like you said, I love your idea. So there's a lot of different ideas like that could work.
Yeah.
So I just want to get the whole package done, get the songs. I really believe in sequencing well. Even though people just listen to songs nowadays, I'm one of the ones that still listen to albums.
I do too.
And I love, and I love how a song could go into a song and like make another song sound well because the song before it was so cool or whatever. You know what I mean? Like sets, like shows. I love putting sets together, and it's just like DJing. It's like putting one song after another, knowing what fits better with another. You know, have it be the ending and the intro working, or having be the notes working together from the ending to the. So there's so many things. So once I have that done, I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
There's many people that are throwing ideas at me. So
of course.
And I'm open to it. DM me with ideas. If you guys have any ideas for North Kingsley or anything, like throw them at me. I'm open to all suggestions at the moment. Yeah.
Well, and that's cool. A lot of people are just like, nah, this is how it's done. This is how
I'm
we
never
do it.
that guy. You need to listen and grow, man. It's not about what you know. If you think you know everything, you're done.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, you're done.
Yep.
And I don't know everything. I know a lot. I can give advice to others, but I also don't know everything, and I can take advice from others.
Yeah.
So
I like what you said though about like the combining of the songs together to form an actual album, and it's a whole solid piece. Because I set out to write my EP, and I was just going to be doing EP, but because it ended up the way it did, and I did it with the podcast, it's broken up for streaming now. But when I first released
it was one piece.
40 minutes.
You know who did that was Caius.
Yes.
Caius did it on Sky. Was it Sky Valley? Or
I think
was
so.
It, yeah, it was Sky Valley. Where it was like 3 separate tracks, but it was 3 songs on each one. So it was like 3 EPs as one full album. It was really cool.
Yeah.
And you had to fast forward to go to the next song. You couldn't skip the next song. So that got me amped.
Yeah.
But many people couldn't handle that. The ADD generation is like,
it.
I'm done. I never heard those 2 other songs. That's what they're saying probably. I only heard the beginning of the first one. But that's another band that's amazing.
Oh, so good.
Right?
So good.
They were the originators. Not the originators, but they were godfathers of stoner rock.
Totally,
Desert.
100%. So it's so good, man.
Yeah.
Well, hey, I think I could talk to you all day.
Yes, you can.
But
I can too.
You want to go? We'll go all day. We'll do it.
I got other
You
ones I got to do, or else I
know.
would, brother.
I know.
Thank you. I appreciate you, though, man.
Of course. Okay, I got a couple things because I think you are the perfect person to talk to about this.
Yes.
Because you've been around so long and you've done things your own way for so long. If there is somebody right now in their basement making a record, making its songs, and they want to get it out to the world right now, what approach do you think they should take?
They just got to drop it, man. They got to drop it and hope it gets to the right ears. There's no other way. If you hold on to it, it passes you by. I did that. I was a perfectionist. I was holding on to music for a long time. And then I realized, no, man, just get it out there and promote it somehow. You can do easy promotions through TikTok, through Instagram, through Twitter. You can, YouTube, and get it out and do. There's so many podcasts right now out that I'm sure someone's going to want you as a guest. Go out there, find the podcast, become guests, or start your own and talk about it. It's all about going viral online. When I started, there was no internet. There was no making demos at home. There was no nothing. I had to go get a studio. I had to go in the streets. I had to promote at shows. I had to make flyers. I had to go stand there after shows of bands that were similar to ours and stand there and have people ask me questions. It was crazy. There was no place I could just go talk like this,
Yeah.
So I think the opportunities are grand nowadays. It's not about record companies anymore. It's not about knowing anybody anymore. It's about just hard work, persistence, and non-stopping, and don't really take other people's opinions too, seriously. Don't take it to heart. Nothing's personal. You're an artist. Be an artist.
There you go. I like that. That's great.
It's the truth.
Sweet, man.
Yeah.
All right. I got 2 final questions, and then we'll wrap this thing up. These are my classic questions that I ask everybody. So first one, what is your favorite Boss pedal?
The heavy metal one.
HM2?
That and the delay one. I haven't used those pedals for so long, so they're in my bin of... I got 2 bins of pedals. Dude, I saw the freaking pedal boards. What is that selection of pedals here, bro?
I know, dude.
I've never seen that many pedals in my life.
Well, so next time you're in Portland, you got to come to my house.
You have that? Yeah.
It's absurd.
Are you like that? I have 2 bins myself.
I've got...
probably 10 bins.
I don't know. Last time I counted, it was over 200. I don't know.
200 pedals?
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. I love that. Yeah. Okay. Boss pedal. I don't use too much Boss pedals, but I do have some of the old ones. I have the phaser, I have the delay, and I think I have that orange metal
DS1.
Is that the orange one?
Kurt Cobain one. Yeah.
Yeah. I really got into electro-harmonics, though. Those guys are cool. The metal muff was what I
like that
really
one.
enjoy. So my favorite setup at home, I know you didn't ask me this, but I'm
Go for it.
My favorite setup for a while was a Fender 70s Mustang.
Yeah.
Plugged into an electro-harmonics metal muff, plugged into and I'm not endorsing the amp company, but a Mark bass amp, a small one that's a bass amp, but I'm playing a guitar through it with the metal muff. It sounded enormous. Then I tried that exact same thing with an Ashdown, and it worked even better. So, but originally it was tried on a Mark bass, and it sounded really good. But of course, my family is Ashdown, so I plugged it into Ashdown, and it sounded even better because they got this really thick sound. You can totally control it you can control the hard state power, and you can control the tube sound. Yeah. So you can make it a warm, powerful sound. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So yeah. So I'd say the electro-harmonics, but I don't know as much as you do on pedals.
I'm obsessed.
So you could probably help me out.
I will.
You can
anytime.
give me some advice on what is cool, since you know what I like.
Anytime. Yes. Anytime. Yes.
All right.
I will absolutely help you.
So that's where I'm at.
Okay, cool, man. Yeah. That's great. And also, shout out to Dan from Ashdown for setting this up.
Yeah, that's my guy.
Yes.
My little
amazing.
brother.
And they're coming on the podcast very soon to get the full Ashdown story. So that's going to be really, really exciting.
I met him when he was 16.
Really?
He came and met me at the London Astoria, and I was playing Ampegs. And I swear, after meeting him and his dad, I moved poof like that. Went from Ampeg straight to Ashdown, and I've never looked back.
I'm really looking forward. I tried a bunch of their stuff out here, and I'm a guitarist primarily, but the last thing I bought before I came here, literally the day before, I bought a bass.
Yeah.
And I'm obsessed. I can't wait to get back home. And I told him, I was like, I don't have a proper bass amp.
Oh, you gotta listen, bro. I swear by them. I really do swear by them. They make a lot of new gear. They're very innovative. They've been doing more and more recently, and I love seeing their I spent a good long while in their booth right now, just checking it out and seeing what they got. They got the new Bluetooth speakers. They have bright. They're so light. The new 100. They're really good. Just go check them out.
And because I know a lot of my people like the pedals, the Geezer Butler.
Yeah, I love that one.
It's so cool.
We're actually talking about doing a set for me.
Oh.
Yeah. We've been talking about it. Today actually we had a long talk about it, and we're going to go back and design a few. I might do bass and then maybe have a guitar one too, because I play a lot of guitar.
Yeah.
So why not have something for that too? But we're going to start with the bass because people know me for that.
Of course.
Yeah.
Right on, man.
Yeah.
All right, final question.
Yes, sir.
And this is the controversial one. You thought we got controversial before,
damn.
but this is serious.
Here we go.
What's your favorite kind of pizza?
Damn. They're going to cancel me for this one.
I know. They try to get me every episode.
Oh my God. Dude, that's a good question, because I love pizza, but I've been really watching my figure.
Yes. You're looking good.
Thank you, sir. I do like the white pizzas when they got the mushrooms and the truffle.
Yeah.
I like that, but I like veggie pizzas mostly. Some mushrooms and olives.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that.
I'm a big
Thin
fan.
crust.
Thin crust.
Yeah. And not much sauce. I'm not a big sauce fan.
Yeah, just enough.
Since I was a kid. My kids are the same. If I order a pizza for the kids, I have 3 kids. I have to always tell the pizza place, extra, extra light sauce, because anything, if they see red, they're not doing it. Yeah, they're like, oh, Dad, I can't do the tomatoes. But I was like that, so I relate. Yeah. I get it. So yeah, I think simple, thin crust, mushroom, olive, black olive, some jalapenos.
Now you're talking.
Yeah, jalapenos. Yeah. I like spicy food, so
I do too.
I add jalapenos to everything.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I love it, dude.
So there you go. The controversial one answered. We're good. I think we're good, right?
We didn't talk about pineapple, so we're good.
Oh, no, I can't do that. Are you into pineapple? No, I'm not into that Hawaiian stuff.
No.
I'm into Hawaii and stuff, but I'm not into the pineapple on my pizza.
No, thank you.
But maybe if I'm really ripped on some 22, that might,
Everything sounds good, right? It's let me get all of it.
Hell yeah, bro.
Dude, this was fantastic.
I enjoyed it. Thank you so
you're
much.
Welcome back anytime, and you can hit me up anytime for anything, man.
I will probably for the pedals. When I'm designing ours, I'm going to call you because you're the pro.
Absolutely.
I'm going to be like, dude, what do you think of these 3? You're going to tell me, well, you know what? That one's been done too many times. I'm like, okay.
I like that.
I need that.
Okay. We'll get this together.
See suggestions. I take it.
Okay. Yeah. We'll do this. We'll figure it out.
Oh, yeah.
All right, man. Okay.
Thank you.
For Shavo, this is Blake. And as always, folks, good luck and good tones. All right, folks, there you have it. I hope you enjoyed that episode as much as I did. And if you're a patron, you've already heard it, or at least you already had a chance to hear it because you got it before anybody else. That's right. If you've been supporting the show, I've been putting out the GearFest content early for all of the patrons to hear. We are going to be back to our regularly scheduled program very soon, where it's just extra bonus episodes that very, very rarely ever become public. There are hundreds of hours back there of extra conversations for your ears. And if you would like to support the show and get access to those things, it is just $5 a month. And it seriously helps so much. Every week, extra bonus content, plus the whole back catalog is back there. And, it really is a massive, massive help. And I thank you to the patrons who are currently and have supported for a long time, and anybody that's able to sign up in the future. It really is a massive help.